Hello you plonkers and welcome back to another video on the Drewzy channel. We're back today with another list. Haven't done one of these in a while, but the last one I did, Plop, did quite well. I hope you enjoy them. If you like this style of video, let me know. Today we'll be talking about every team's greatest cult figure. Caden McDonald just dropped a song called Cult Figures That I Miss. Idea popped into my head. Here we go. Cult figures that I like. Pretty much in this video. Drop a like, drop a sub, let's get into the bloody video, you plonkers. A cult figure, I think it's someone, by definition, who, you know, the crowds fell in love with, whether it's for their skill, their haircut, their shithousery, or just for having iconic moments in history that have made them so lovable. You got it? Cool, let's get into the video. Adelaide, Tony Modra. Godra, he was just a beautiful man. That's what made him so lovable, probably by his wife in the first place, but he just kicked bags of goals for fun. He kicked 129 goals in 1993, which is an average of 5.6 bloody goals a game. You're gonna be called Godra if you're kicking 5.6 goals a game. Off the bloody carts, mate. Big ups to Godra, also played for my boys, the Freo Dockers as well. Brisbane has to be Jason Ackermanis. Cult figures may be known for being pretty average players, but Acker was always known as a cult figure, but he had the accolades to back up being an absolute genius of a player. He had 3 premierships, a bloody Brownlow, played 325 games in his career, and he kicked the wildest of goals, had a darty haircut, did a handstand after every win at Brisbane, and yeah, just an absolute class bloke, Acker. Carlton, Brendan Favola. Who else could I have picked? Brendan Favola, arguably one of the best cult figures of all time. He wasn't just one of the best forwards of his generation, he's probably one of the best personalities the league has ever seen. Getting pissed on the Brownlow night, giving pressure points to Chris Judd, or pissing in his mouth on a Mad Monday. You know, Brendan Favola could do it all. After his career, he pretty much just went around the country getting pissed, getting paid to play local footy and just kicking bags. Fev is just an all-time great cult figure. Collingwood, Dane Swan. Swanee was loved not just for being a great footballer, he was just a great relatable fella. Everyone knew that he loved the party, Swanee, you know, he loved a bev, he loved a line of coke, loved even a bit of MD from time to time. A good story of Swanee was when he got drafted, Collingwood said, "You're alright, come into the club, mate, we bloody drafted you." And he was like, "No, I'm on the Gold Coast, I'm on schoolies, you can wait." What a gangster. Essendon, Anthony, McDonald, Tipung Woody. Every time Tip is near the ball, you just know some hectic shit's gonna go on. He has the hustle of Jesse McClure from True Footy on a night out, and he's as quick as I am in bed. He's got the haircut, the goals, the highlights, the chase down tackles, the bloody name. He's got a song about him. Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody, just all-time great cult figure. Fremantle was a toughie because Clive Waterhouse is my pick, but I was torn between him and Kepler Bradley, but I've gone with Clive Waterhouse. So he was the first pick in the Dockers history, like #1 pick for the Dockers, first pick in the 1995 draft, and he didn't really live up to the hype, got a bit injured in his career, but, you know, when you got a mullet like he does and the pure beauty, it was hard not to love him, even though he was not as good as we had have hoped. One of his best games for the Dockers was he kicked 7 goals in the Demolition Derby in 2000, big scraps going on everywhere, and who came out on top? Clive Waterhouse and the Dockers by a point. Geelong, Cameron Ling. Cameron Ling's just one of the most beautiful men you'll ever see in your life, really. That's why I put him in here. He wasn't the most skillful player, but he had a hefty set of bollocks on him. Wasn't scared to get in there. I like him as a commentator. I love his hair. I love him. Great captain, premiership captain, Cameron Ling for Geelong. Gold Coast, Dan, nothing rhymes with orange, Gorange. Gozza wasn't a cult figure as a player, really, because he hardly ever got a game. He was always quite injured. But since he started making Instagram videos, he's now on bloody Big Brother. That's where his cult figure status has really blossomed from. It's very hard to fluke getting drafted into the AFL, and Goz did this. He played a couple good games in the state bloody under-18s, and that pretty much got him drafted into the Gold Coast, and he flunked his way in there. In his 5-year career at Gold Coast, he took the mark of the century, which didn't actually count, and he kicked one of the best check sides you'll ever see. Even Alan Didak could be bloody proud of it. GWS, Shane Mumford. I was torn between Mummy and Dill Buckley. Dill Buckley was an easy one to go for, everyone loves him, but Shane Mummy Mumford, an absolute rig of a man, makes the list. He's a wannabe boxer, big, scary geezer, and he's got the chest the size of Aaron Norton's ego. He's an absolute opposition nightmare when he shows up to play. Not technically gifted, but just an absolutely terrifying geezer. Imagine Big Mummy running at you with his big barrel of a chest. Absolutely terrifying. He loves a scrap, he loves a line. Big up to Mummy. Hawthorn, I've gone for Shane Crawford. Now, everyone loves Crawford. I'm not sure if he's considered a cult figure, but I love him. Every Thursday night on the footy show back in the day, he was just the best on the panel all the time. Won a Brownlow, won a premiership. That's what I'm talking about. Climbing the goalpost. Lots of charity work as well. Just a great bloke. And by all accounts of people who have met him, he seems like he's as genuine as they come. Absolute hero, Shane Crawford. Melbourne, Liam Jurrah. I remember watching the Walpiri Wizard play his first game back in the day against Essendon Friday night. I just remember him going up for speckies, having huge shots from bloody 50 with his lanky legs, going for these long shots, and you already knew he was a star in the making. He took the mark of the year on Jack Watts as well, which is pretty funny. Just because Jack Watts was always so hated. Who's going to take a specky on him? Liam bloody Jurrah. That's who. And he's really good with the machete if you need some gardening done. So big up Liam Jurrah. North Melbourne was a toughie, but I've gone with Ben Brown. He's number 50. He's got a ridiculous ginger curly haircut. He has a set shot routine as long as Basil Zamplis' nose. With a run up like that, wearing the number 50, stupid haircut. That's just cult figure all over, is it not? I think it qualifies him as cult figure. Port Adelaide, I've gone with the Hoff, Justin Westhoff. When he joined the league, he was skinny, pale, ugly, useless. Oh, we're talking about Justin Westhoff, not me. Similarities, really. Maybe I could become Justin Westhoff one day. He got the nickname Napoleon Dynamite just for being so scrawny and whatnot. But he's actually turned out to be one of Port Adelaide's longest ever serving players. I think he's got the second most amount of games for Port Adelaide. Become a legend at the club, and he's got the cult figure status as well to back it up. Big beard, absolute legend. Big up the Hoff. Richmond, Jake, the push-up king. He was given the nickname the push-up king because on a pre-season camp, he did 303 push-ups consecutively, and he was rewarded with 2 beers and a chocolate bar. He's one of those players who you hated to play against. Absolute pest of a player. But you'd love to have him on your team, as I'm sure Tiger fans would have back in the day when they were struggling. He was always there, giving it his all at Tigerland. He's got the tattoos, he's got the doggy, pesky factor that makes him so lovable. Big up, Jakey King. St Kilda, who else could I have picked other than Fraser, the G-Train, Garrick? He had the best rig you'll ever see as a forward. Just an absolute barrel on his chest, and it terrified defenders across the league. He had a receding hairline at the front, a rat's tail at the back, and he would just bag goals left, right, and centre. What an absolute icon of our game. Big G-Train. Sydney was another toughie, but I've gone with Nick Davis. I see it, but I don't bloody believe it. I've solely put Nick Davis in here because of that moment. Kicks a goal in the 2005 qualifying final or semi-final. I think it was the semi-final that would send St Kilda into the prelim. I think, I could be waffling, but they won the flag that year pretty much. Nick Davis won the game with about 4 seconds left, creating one of the most iconic moments, filled with emotion. You won't see as much emotion as that in a game of football. It'd be hard to top. Nick Davis, absolute hero. West Coast Eagles, I've gone with the Q-stick, Quinton Lynch. Renowned for his huge leg, the throw of the glove, and his 80s pedophile mustache. He had a face that only a mother could love, and he had a kick as long as John Longmire's cock. He was an absolute punter of a ball. He had a punt on him, alright? A big punt. Premiership player as well, fan favourite at the Eagles, big up the Q-stick. Western Bulldogs was a toughie. I was going to go Tom Liberatore, but I thought that was a bit cliche. I've gone with my own one. I've gone with Tommy Boyd. He was the first pick in the 2013 draft, went to GWS, and a year later requested a trade to the Bulldogs. Ryan Griffin went to GWS and pick 6. Bulldogs got an absolutely mammoth grand final performance out of Tommy Boyd. The best game he could ever play, and it come on the last day of September. Kicking the sealer from the square. Boyd's kicked a goal. Fuck! It's just iconic, and Dogs fans, they might have had to pay a $7 million contract that didn't really pay off in the long term, but one of the most iconic moments in Dogs history, if not the most iconic moment in Dogs history. Tommy Boyd, I think you're a cult figure. If you are considered a flop, at least you've made the cult figure list on the Drewzy channel. And there it is, wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy this style of video, comment plonker plonker plonker. 3 times, and then write a nice message. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, drop a sub, recommend me to a mate. My original goal for the end of July was 3,000, so if you could get there, that would be mental, but if not, that's G. Hopefully 2.5k would be nice by the end of this month. And look how many of yous aren't bloody subscribed to the channel but still watch. Could you please subscribe? Once you've subscribed, DM me or something on Instagram and I'll give you a nice love heart or something like that. Thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.